was my involvement in the war. I started out as becoming an aircraft mechanic, and I worked on Key West and seaplanes, and we worked on the engines in the seaplanes. I was later transferred to the land base at Key West, which I also worked on aircraft engines there. We had quite a bit of work, and we had to repair them to get them ready for flight sometimes. My tasks and duties were to keep the engines on the airplanes satisfactory for flight. One came in with problems, we had to fix it, get it ready immediately if they had to go out. And, that was about it. The training I went through was, I started out at Navy Pier, got training to become an aircraft mechanic. After I finished the course there, I went into a seaplane squadron. We went to Norfolk, Virginia for about a month or two. Then we went down to Key West. We worked on the engines there, seaplanes. And while I was there, I also got sent to what's now Chicago Vocational. The Navy took it over for advanced aviation training. I went through that, because graduated, and went back to Key West. But at that time, I was at the land base of Key West. But we still had to work on engines. It's about I said we worked there, and then I had to went to an advanced aviation training in Oregon, Tongue Point, Oregon. That was a seaplane too, and we learned all about them. It was a different plane that we worked on in Key West. I was stationed in Norfolk for about 2 months. The squadron I was in, we moved the squadron down to Key West. We were down there quite about 6 months. The squadron went out to the Pacific and left us behind. I went out to Boca Chica, the land base, and I was out there for quite a while. After that, I went to San Diego, and the war was over when I was at San Diego for a while. Well, after I got out of high school, I was working for different companies, and finally I got a job I liked in a printing factory. And I knew the war was coming. I joined the Naval Reserve. We used to have meetings or mobilizations once every month. So they finally decided they were going to mobilize us. And my division was called up, and they gave me a physical, said I wasn't qualified. So they finally gave me a discharge from the Naval Reserve. Well, I went back to work for the printing place, and it was getting to the point where the draft was breathing down my throat, and I couldn't see that. So my father said, go to naval headquarters, find out what they can do. So they said, well, that's a Hammond and Horn. They said to re-examine a physically qualified, enlist them. Well, they found out I was really physically qualified. So I enlisted in the Navy for 6 years. And of course I had to say goodbye to everybody. So basically I was rewarded by my efforts. When I looked out and saw an airplane take off on a mission, and knowing it was in good hands, and it came back later on, and it was still in good shape. That was my reward. Of course, I advanced slowly, and got to third class petty officer, went second class, and then after that, I made first class. So I was one of the top enlisted men in the maintenance squadron there. So what else? Not that I know of. You were given orders what to do, and you did them. That's it. Of course, the civilians weren't given orders what to do, but when you're in the Navy, you do what you're told. You don't question anything. The most interesting one was that I probably told you before about this pilot would come in and he said it was when we were at the land-based squadron. He said his engines were cutting out, his right engine was cutting out. Well, we worked on the thing and worked on it and sent it out. And about 3 days each time it came back. So then the plane commander said, I want you to come with me and I'll show you what's happening. Well, I was sitting in the right-hand seat, he was in the left-hand seat. And we were going along real nice and easy. All of a sudden, chug, chug, chug. The right engine starts cutting out. Of course, the right wing starts dipping down. But the guy knew what he was doing, and he got it back up on level flight. Went a little further, did it again. Went through the same routine, and he finally got it going enough that we came in, landed, and he said, "You see what I mean?" I said, "Yeah, I see what you mean. What you mean." I said, "We'll have it fixed this time," and we really worked it over. We found out it was an ignition problem. So we had to restring the whole ignition harness, and we got it, and we set it up. We never heard of a problem again.